else I'll press the button. There you go. Right, can I please ask everyone to note the fire safety instructions. There are no fire drills planned for this evening. There are no fire drills? No? Okay, great. In the event of a fire alarm sounding, please leave the building via the nearest exit and make your way to the assembly point located in the market car park adjacent to the Civic Suite and then onto the pub. Please do not return to the buildings unless given permission by council staff or the fire brigade. I'd also like to remind you please to switch off your mobile phones or turn them on to silent. Please note that the meeting will be live streamed where the proceedings are capable of repeated viewing. Please ensure that your microphone is switched on when speaking and you speak clearly into the microphone. Once finished speaking, can you please switch off your microphone to avoid feedback noise? If you are seated in the public area, which nobody is tonight, so I'll skip that one. If members are for any reason not present for the whole debate on an item, you should consider whether it would be appropriate for you to vote on that item. May I also remind members to declare any interests and the nature of the interest at the beginning of an agenda item, and that on declaring a pecuniary interest, you are required to leave the room when that item of business is considered. Item 1, apologies for absence even. Substitute members or non-members attending. We have received apologies from Councillor Brewer, Councillor Shaw and Councillor Capon. We have a substitute member for Councillor Shaw, so Councillor Marriott is here in attendance. Right, so item 2, minutes of the meeting held on the 17th of March 2025. Are the minutes agreed, members? Yeah, okay, I'll sign them a little bit later. Item 3, declarations of interest. Are there any declarations of interest? No, okay. Public 4, public questions or notice. None have been received. Item 5, the asset delivery programme cost. Members, we will now consider the report of the Director of Assets and Investments relative to the asset delivery programme costs. Phoebe Barnes will update the committee.
Thank you, Chair. Members, this report is hopefully the final report regarding the asset delivery programme. The report outlines all the external costs associated with the whole programme. This was requested to be presented to the Scrutiny Committee on the 16th of September following the Strategy, Finance and Policy Committee on the resolution of ending the GB partnership.
Any questions, members? No. I've just got one question. The programme that was laid out to put this together, that was done in conjunction in the way of Treasury procedures, if I remember correctly. Is that correct? When the asset delivery programme was put together and everything was done and the money was spent, it was all spent according to Treasury, because we was told at the time we was doing it under Treasury principles. So we was following Treasury guidelines on how we put this together at the time.
Yes, obviously the costs incurred would have been in line with the Council's Treasury Management Strategy and Capital Programme. So the costs incurred to date have been included in the Statement of Accounts correctly and reported throughout.
Okay, thank you. This report is noted, members. Oh, sorry, Chair McPherson.
Thank you, Chairman. Just one question for Phoebe, please. On page 5.3, what is ODA?
That is the overdevelopment agreement. So that is an agreement between the council and a developer. So the council owns or retains the property, and it's an agreement for that developer to carry out the development on the site with the council paying for it.
Thank you.
Councillor Booth.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I'm just wondering, in light of the local government reorganisation and devolution, where we have the implications at the end of reports regarding the environment, financial, equality and health, I'm wondering if it would be appropriate to start putting in something around the local government organisation, reorganisation and devolution, if that's going to have any impact in the future or has an impact now.
I'll come back on that.
The implications of the report are set out as a standard template. If there is anything associated with LGR and devolution, we include that kind of under the relevant risk sections. Obviously, this report is kind of looking backwards as the costs, as obviously we've now ended the ADP and we're looking at assets on a business case basis as part of the forthcoming asset management strategy. So anything regarding what we're looking at in the future, yes, we would be highlighting implications around devolution and local government reform.
Councillor Booth?
Yes, I'm just wondering if it could be a request that in future reports that there is a clear heading about local government and devolution implications, just as there is with the others that tend to come towards the end of a report. Usually there's no implications from them, but I suspect there might be on occasion from that reorganisation. So I'm just wondering if that's something officers would consider, the leader of the council would consider, and appropriate chairs of committees would consider.
Maybe we can make that a recommendation to, which committee would that go to be put in there? Strategy and finance, probably. So we can probably make a recommendation. So do you want to put that as a recommendation, Councillor Booth?
Yes, so is it etiquette now that I propose that recommendation?
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
happy to second. Oh, Councillor McPherson second that. So take a vote on that as a recommendation. Go to strategy and finance. That's unanimous. Thank you. Anything else on that report? No. Okay, so that report is to be noted. So noted? Noted, thank you. Okay, item 6, Launchpad update. Members will now consider the report from the Director of Assets and Investments relative to the update on the Launchpad relocation. Phoebe Barnes will present this report. Thanks, Phoebe.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. The update is pretty light, I appreciate that, but as the update states, all staff have now been relocated into the Launchpad. The reception area is also now in Watford Library, and the Civic Suite is open for committee meetings as well as meeting rooms that can be utilised during the evening and the day. Happy to take any questions.
Members, any questions? Councillor Marriott.
Just a brief one. Going forward, would it be possible for members and officers to be able to use them at those meeting rooms as they are in the Civic Suite in Rayleigh? Because it might be useful for meetings that affect the east of the district.
Phoebe?
So the meeting rooms at Launchpad are hireable, but they come at a cost. An external cost per hour, and the Launchpad core hours are 8:30 till 5. So the building does close off. So after 5 o'clock, the building is not accessible from the main doors. So Launchpad can be utilised during the day, subject to the council providing the cost of their meeting rooms. And the civics. The Civic Suite, the meeting rooms at this location, group leaders have been updated with the process around how to utilise these meeting rooms and be able to book them with the support of corporate support and member services.
Okay, thank you.
Councillor Webb?
Thank you, Chair. Just a quick question, if I can, about the sale of South Street. Can I ask how that's proceeding, please? And also, if there's a value attached to the properties, there seem to be some rumours circulating on Facebook that the value of those properties has been estimated at around £500,000, which seems very low. Could you just clarify, please, what they're on the market for? Thank you.
So the properties are in 2 lots. 3 to 15 South Street is up, and 19 South Street is in a second lot. Our agents is Kemsley's, and they are marketing them. That marketing and final bids will conclude in May. We don't have the properties up with a value because it's a closed bid process to keep it competitive and to get best value. So we don't have a value associated to that in the public domain.
Thank you.
Okay, any more questions, members? I think there's an invitation on the update that Phoebe gave. If any member wants to go and have a look round, who do we get in touch with?
Yep, so any member that wants to come and view Launchpad and see kind of the layout and where the staff are working from, happy to arrange that, and just drop me an email and we can get that arranged.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so this report is to note. Is that noted, members? Noted, thank you. Right, item 7, SEP funding. Members will now consider a report from the Director of Assets and Investments relative to SEP funding. Phoebe and Stuart will present this report.
Thank you, Chair. So the report before members tonight is given an update regarding funds that were awarded to the Council by the South Essex Parking Partnership. The report highlights the original scope of works and the funds had been allocated to, what has been expended from those funds, what remains of those funds, and proposed scheme for the remaining funds to be spent on. Happy to take any questions.
Any questions, members? Councillor Marriott.
Chairman, it's not a question, it's just some additional information that Councillor Shaw provided me with before the meeting. And it's on 1.6, page 7.2, where it reads funding withdrawn as works carried out and completed by Essex County Council. And Councillor Shaw said that SEP funded the signs. The residents, out of their own money, installed the signs. So Councillor Shaw, I believe, wanted to make an amendment to that.
Stuart.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Councillor. The information that we were provided at the time was that it had been done by Essex County Council. I bow to your knowledge on that if Councillor Shaw believes otherwise. So.
Okay, that's fine. I've got a question. There's some money left over. So what's the council looking to do with that?
At the minute, we're proposing to do some improvements to the approach car park in Rayleigh, down by Rayleigh Station. That had been highlighted as part of the original scope of works that was originally put to SEP, but the project scope has expanded, and now we are looking at a number of options there, which is likely to utilise most, if not all, of the available funding.
Thank you. That report is for noting. Any other questions, comments? No. Okay, noting members. Noted? Noted. Okay, thank you. Okay, item 8, the work programme and forward plan. Meeting will now consider the work programme for 24-25. Any questions and comments on the work plan? Any comments, questions? Anybody want to add anything? Councillor McPherson.
Thank you, Chairman. I can only see 3 items on here. Am I looking at the right page, 8.4?
Yeah.
So meeting date 8th of April. This is our last meeting. So this isn't the forward plan. You're now asking for items to go on to the forward plan. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, that is a forward plan, and we're looking for some more items to go on there if there's anybody suggestions. I've got one, which I'll let you go first.
It'd be handy to know what's on there.
Okay, let me just bring it up. Oh, thanks. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I've got statutory stuff to go on there, which is per normal. I was going to ask, that came up in the peer review, that other councils sometimes have the lead with the council, address strategy and finance, so they can ask them about what business has been going on over the last few months. So we could put that in as ask the leader or the deputy leader to come along and we can ask questions of them. So I'd suggest that maybe go on there as a floor plan item. We've got the airport to go on there. I think that's going to be one's coming up. We've got the anything else?
So I think possibly local government reorganisation and devolution should be a consideration. I think the spend of NHS money, because there seem to be lots of pots of NHS money that if we don't spend soon or isn't spent by the NHS will be clawed back and go back to developers. I think also a review of the winter fuel allowance would be appropriate, some analysis of that, some evaluation of the impact of that as well. So I think there are three areas I'd be keen to see on the forward plan: NHS funding, devolution, and a review of the winter fuel allowance.
Got that, Jackie? Anything else? Anybody? Yes, Joe?
Just one forward review of our assets, which I believe is already underway. So if that comes to scrutiny and performance.
I think that's already in there. Okay. Bob Milne.
To check into the facts of this, but we were notified that a lot of our hundreds of little sapling trees that were planted in a couple of parks seem to disappear. And it's only rumour control, but it seems they may have been wiped out by the ground maintenance people with a tractor and a large lawnmower affair, which means we spent a load of money putting in trees and creating a meadow that is now a lawn. So I don't know if that's something that overview might look at.
I think we could probably scrutinise the strategy that spent the money.
Yeah.
Is it the best way to spend the money putting the trees in to get them all chopped down?
But then I don't know if it's because Green Gateway went and somebody else does it or what's happened there. But we've lost a load of trees that have been planted.
That would be Councillor Stanley's committee. I'm thinking at the moment would have done that, wouldn't they? Or would it be
he is aware of it.
Councillor Hoyes? I'm not sure which one. Councillor Stanley.
Yeah.
So maybe we can ask him to come in so we can ask him what happened there, or the officer. Anything else at the moment? No? Okay. Right then, so we need to... Right, so recommendation 1. The committee approves its current work plan as per Appendix A with the added bits we've added in. So those in favour, please. That's unanimous. No, it's not. And those against?
Forgive me, Chairman, but it's quite difficult without actually knowing sort of the list.
All right, so Jackie, do you want to read the list out for us?
Yeah, if that could be circulated after the meeting, I'm happy to agree it now. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Right, so do that again then. So those in favour? That's unanimous. Thank you. And that concludes the business of this evening. Thank you for your attendance at 7:48. Thank you.